Welcome to Married AF. We are your hosts, Brooke and Randal Fowler. On this show, we discuss the topics that really matter.
Like big veiny cocks and our favorite TV shows.
So pull up a chair at our kitchen table and hang out.
While I bulldog my nuts. I broke my back.
What was that from again?
My back is broken. It's Mike Tyson.
Oh, okay. I couldn't remember what you said it was.
Yeah, when he lost the fight. But I have been dealing with a little bit of a old man back issue that's...
We've talked about it ad nauseum on here before.
Yeah, but it was the big issue with us being a little behind. I mean, I haven't been... Today's been my best day.
Really?
By far, as far as my back feeling good. I haven't done anything today, but that's probably why it feels better.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been clearly I needed surgery, and I've just toughed it out. But it sucked, the big dick. There was some times where I was getting concerned, but the fact that it is getting better has alleviated some of that concern.
Well, good.
So stop worrying, everyone.
Wow.
It's going to be fine. But this is episode 61, I believe, of Married AF.
Yeah, I think you say that also when we start our discussion with Miles.
Absolutely. I was about to mention that you will hear that again when we roll the portion with the great and powerful Miles. She joined us.
Why do you introduce everybody like they're the Wizard of Oz?
Because Joe Rogan says it. He calls everyone powerful.
Gotcha. And
I've listened to him for so long. And I am probably his biggest fan on earth. So, yeah, total. That goes to him. But Miles was great. She joined us for some listener Q&A and she gave some good-ass advice. I enjoyed her. Yeah,
it was a lot of fun. And then I saw on Twitter, like, the day after we talked to her, that her doggy died.
Yeah, I saw that on Facebook. That sucks.
So sad. So big hugs, Miles. I know how bad that sucks. Balls. Sweet babies.
Well, I wanted to touch on a couple of things that we haven't gotten to discuss yet that have happened, but no one has gotten our input on. And we'll start with the tide rolling.
Next.
Well, I mean, you have to give people are invested their lives. It matters how you feel.
How the fuck does everybody think I feel? Just take a wild guess. It sucks. Fucking, it was deja vu. National championship all over again. We were winning the whole game. And then guess what? This time Jalen Hurts came in and fucking saved the day. Last time it was Tua came in and saved the day. This time, Tua was benched and Jalen saved the day. Go figure.
Tua was hurt, but we definitely needed a spark. I think if Tua wasn't hurt, we lose the game.
Yeah. It sucked ass. The best part, though, is that towards the end of the game, like, we're sitting in there and Gunner's, like, playing with his toys in there and kept saying, "Mommy, stop yelling." You keep startling me. You stop yelling. I'd be like, "Oh, what?" Throwing my phone across the room.
Yeah, it puts me in a predicament every time because, of course, I'm the Alabama fan, but Georgia's my adopted home, so they're my second favorite team. And I know that the game is never over with Nick Saban, and I know that you know that. And so watching you with a lead and knowing that you know that lead means nothing makes it miserable to watch that game with you because no one can talk any shit. We couldn't even if we wanted to. No. Not that we want to.
We wouldn't have anyways, but still, I mean, that's... Never once did I get cocky in the national championship or this game. Like,
You've never done that.
Never even cocky in my own head. More just super anxious for the game to be over while our score is still ahead. But
I mean, it unfolded in your face this game, and you weren't surprised. Like, you weren't even Jay. You were like, well, there it is. Okay. Mm-hmm. Now the world is normal again.
So it's just like, why? Just why? Why? I don't know. That call by Kirby Smart with the fake punt was the worst shit on earth. And it gave y'all all the momentum, like, and basically won the game for you.
It was the knife in the heart. I was talking to Jason about it when I was getting treatment this week.
Did he go to Georgia?
Yeah, he's a Georgia fan. He didn't go to Georgia, but he's a UGA fan.
Nice.
And, of course, he was equally upset about the fake punt. But, he's like any real Georgia fan. He knows how good of a coach Kirby is. Mm-hmm. And that, everybody's going to throw up a turd from time to time on a call. Yeah. But Kirby jumped on the grenade. He took it like a champ. He said, I made the call.
He wasn't throwing anybody under the bus or anything. I mean, it was he owned it, but it sucked. I mean, of course, Kirby Smart's a great coach. He got us 2 amazing seasons in a row.
And it's going to be this way for years to come.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're starting a pretty good rivalry between Alabama and Georgia with all this. But it's just... God.
No, it sucks because the last 2 times we've played you've beaten us for
the entire game.
90% of both games.
Mm-hmm. The entire game.
You're winning the fist fight, and then you lose. You get choked out with 10 seconds.
Can't finish. Can't finish.
Yeah, you can't put the dagger in, that's going to come with time. Kirby's great.
But yeah,
this was the most nervous I've been.
Yeah,
I didn't like the feel of this game from Jump Street. I never get nervous.
You say that every time you get nervous. You get nervous.
When's the last time I've been nervous?
The national championship.
This one was worse. I thought this was going to be the night for a minute.
Yeah, and then you kept changing rooms, and then finally, when I was able to actually sit down and relax and watch the game, third quarter, or no, right at after halftime. It's like, what the fuck? Why are you not sitting out here with me?
And then the comeback.
Right. No, I was like, what? Now that I'm able to sit down and watch the game, you're going to lay back here in the bedroom and not watch it with me? Like, what the hell? And then you came out and sat on the couch, and the game started falling to shit. And I was like, get the fuck out of here. Get out of my face.
Yeah, I watched
it's
the
your
game
fault.
In a total of 17 different settings. From standing in the kitchen to watching in the living room to on the couch to on the bed to taking a break and starting a project in the basement, coming back up to the living room to the bedroom.
Yeah.
None of it was working. And I was almost submitted, maybe this is the night, and it's fine because it's going to happen. Mm-hmm. And then Superman gets brought in for the storybook ending that just makes him a legend. He doesn't have to ever play a down again. Jalen Hurts cemented himself as a legend.
Just with his whole attitude and everything. I mean, it all just, not just his skills, but...
What about how hype he was after the game?
Why is he always asleep?
You couldn't believe how hype he was.
I was like, calm down, Jalen. I think you took too many Benadryl before the game because you look sleepy. She was like, what did the girl say to him? She said something like, how hype are you? And he was like, yeah, I'm super hype.
Yeah, and then she said, look at your teammates. They're turned, or he said, look at your teammates. And Jalen said, yeah, they're turned up. And she was like, well, so what are you going to do? He's like, I'm going to turn up with them.
Just the most monotone,
he's
just
got ice water in his veins.
Sleepy. Yeah, no emotions.
No, but inside he was whipping his dick out to everyone in the world because he
as
nationally got benched after winning. He was 26-2 as a starter. That never happens. You don't lose your job.
A fucking saint among men. Yeah, I mean, it couldn't.
Didn't transfer.
No, stayed there. But that was Nick Saban's fucking shit-eating grin after the game where he was like, I told y'all motherfuckers, this is why I keep 2 good quarterbacks. Suck my dick, everybody. That's exactly what Nick Saban said with his face, almost his mouth. Yeah. He almost told everybody to suck his dick, but he didn't.
Well, I want to give, I'm going to say this now to everybody, and this will make Georgia fans hate me. But I think Justin Fields is a steaming pile of dog shit compared to Jake Fromm. Everybody acts like he's the next Cam Newton. He should be the next Fig Newton because he should have called timeout on that fake punt. He's the thing that gave it away. He was the up back. He saw that we weren't even in a punt return defense. We were just playing our standard defense. He should have been a fucking leader, called timeout like anybody would. Like, coach, this isn't going to work. We're fucked. Timeout. Let's punt it.
He should have. He choked. Everybody, I mean.
And Fromm played great. Fromm deserved to win. I love Jake Fromm. He's up there on my list of.
He did.
The bet, and he played his tits off. Yeah,
it was heartbreaking as usual. Playing Alabama, and somebody has to take you out at some point, and I really want it to be one of my teams, and it's super fucking frustrating because you're so close, and fuck, man.
It was as close as you can be. Fuck. I mean, you can't get closer than these two.
So now let's just go ahead and fucking Alabama's gonna win another fucking national championship, y'all, because all these other fucking teams in the playoffs can. Seriously, Oklahoma, this stupid fucking Heisman candidate.
And that shows you how much, really, at the end of the day, who fucked your beloved Bulldogs is your beloved LSU Tigers. If Georgia hadn't lost to LSU,
they'd be in the playoffs. I know.
So your own team fucked you.
It's a conundrum. I know.
Your team fucked your team. Because those are your two. Had they not lost which everyone loses in Baton Rouge at night most of the time. Their record is incredible.
Not Alabama.
We're taking them out, but it's a tough place to win.
It's very tough to win there. But yeah, I knew that's why it was. I mean, I always do. Sorry, Amanda. I do root for Georgia when Georgia and LSU play each other.
You're a graduate from there.
Exactly. But it's very bittersweet anytime LSU wins because, of course, I like it when LSU wins, but then they beat Georgia. But Georgia had more to lose this season, and I knew it. And that's what sucked worse because I knew that was going to fuck us with.
That's so true.
With exactly this. So.
Yeah, and one spot out of the playoffs because they still wrapped Georgia up at 5. Even with 2 losses. So they were one dick hair away.
Because there's not a requirement that you have to have 0 to 1 losses.
No.
It's the best teams, but apparently. It's not really the best teams.
No, it's not. Now, I mean, hopefully they change that because right now what they're saying is you got to be a conference winner probably or Alabama.
No, well, I was going to say no because Alabama went last year without. I was
just saying you got to be a conference winner or Alabama.
Yeah.
To really get in, but we're going to say it's the best 4 teams. Yeah. But if everyone agrees that Alabama's the best team in the country, which most people do, and you watch Georgia and Alabama play, you're a steaming pile of dicks if you say that the team that lost isn't in the top 4 because they beat us up for the majority
twice
of the game.
In 1 year. I mean, that was January 8th.
Yeah.
And then last weekend. So it's really fucking a bummer. I just hope that LSU beats the dicks off of UCF.
They better. They got to the whole country.
What bowl is it?
Is counting on that. Who gives a shit?
The www.
No, it's a decent. It's a good bowl, but
okay.
I don't remember which one it is off the top of my head. Maybe the Outback Bowl.
Okay. And where's Georgia going? We're playing like Notre Dame or some shit.
No, Notre Dame's in the playoffs.
Oh, they are in the playoffs. Oh, fuck.
They're playing Clemson.
That's fucking
That's who Georgia should have gotten in over.
Notre Dame? Yeah.
Because Notre Dame's going to get clobbered by Clemson.
Who have they played? Appalachian State?
No, I mean, they've had some okay wins, but they're going to die. They get crushed. When they played us, they got the national championship game, and we smothered their... I mean, it wasn't even close.
Yeah.
So they're not going to do well. We have Oklahoma.
Yeah, I know.
And Clemson plays Notre Dame.
It'll be you and Clemson. It'll be Alabama and Clemson in the national championship game. And, Alabama's... I'm 99% sure Alabama's going to be the national champion again. But we'll see.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll have a bad day. Who knows?
All right. Well, let's do our shot to a rivalry well done. You got to give respect. That was a great game regardless.
It was a
football.
great game. Cheers.
Cheers. Strong on the vodka. Went heavy on it.
And it wasn't mixed up.
I mixed it, but I think we let it sit too long.
Yeah, we did. It separated.
I went heavy though. That muscle vodka is strong. Don't let it bullshit you.
Oh, that was, and it's been a minute.
That definitely settled it where it was not mixed anymore.
It was separated for sure.
The other thing I wanted to talk about, a couple things, then we'll roll into the Q&A with Miles. George Herbert Walker Bush passed away. I think everybody saw that.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, 41. But I, as much as I shit on the media and everything, I got to give them props. All outlets did a great job of honoring
regardless
him.
of political affiliation. Everybody was very respectful and very, kudos.
I was waiting on somebody to eat a big dick and say something stupid political.
Yeah, even the jaggles in the media know, in the political media know when to not be an asshole sometimes. So,
man, it showed you though how much these other presidents dislike Trump. At the funeral where all the living presidents were,
they were all in the front row right there.
Yeah, and W came down and he shook everyone's hand. But like Hillary wouldn't even turn her head to look toward Trump. Bill Clinton's off in La La Land, halfway coherent. And Obama gave Trump like the biggest suck my long dick face. And Michelle Obama basically threw up when she shook Trump's hand.
Oh, they hate him.
Oh, yeah.
Why was he sitting there with his arms crossed, though? I kept wanting to be like, dude,
I don't know. He looked so miserable.
He just looked like a pouting child. Like, why do I have to be here? Like, dude, come on, man.
It's gotten more icy.
Get your shit together.
Him and Melania look more icy than Bill and Hillary did. And it looked like Hillary, because Hillary knew Bill was fucking everything. So she had a right to look as shitty as she did when Bill was in office.
Melania doesn't know?
Of course, but not anymore. When Bill's in office, he was still laying the pipe.
Yeah.
Trump's not doing anything anymore. He is disgusting.
Yeah.
There was a time where his money could speak for him. That guy's unvulnerable now. And Melania looks like, dear God, when are you going to die?
Right.
I'm hanging on for your death.
Oh, man.
And she doesn't say a word. I give her props, man. She's hung in there like a champ. She's
been great. Did you watch W's eulogy? It was great.
Oh, it was awesome. As expected. His W has become, people definitely love him more post-presidency. And the same way with Herbert Walker, the way people appreciate him now is you kind of, and there were two different ways. W wasn't the best polished speaker, especially compared to Obama.
I always liked that about him.
But I did too, because he was kind of spoke like I would.
Because it made him seem more human and not like a robot, like a lot of presidents seem like.
And no one, you can't speak with Obama. He was just gifted with that. His,
I miss hearing him speak because he's so charismatic and smooth and that's very rare. But I always appreciated W's just realness and how he owned the fact that he knows he can't.
Oh, he wasn't trying to fake anybody. It wouldn't have worked either.
He nailed it though at the eulogy.
He did. He that was his dad. So he spoke like a son and and what I thought was poignant and for the kids nowadays to see that Herbert Walker was the death of cordial politics. He was the last of the ones that he didn't rip apart his adversaries. He was very nice to Bill Clinton when he lost his when he tried to get reelected.
He was the last of the non-mudslingers.
As he was just a gentleman.
Yeah.
He wrote handwritten letters, known for that. And he was just a nice guy. And now, I don't care which side you root for, they're all slime balls. And they've all sold their souls. And that's why they do the shit ads and attacks that no one likes anymore, but we'll never see the days of, just be cool to each other and see who wins the election.
Well, no, it's a whole new world now, and it's all bullshit. But
yeah, W, it was, the fact that he hung on till the last line, when he was talking about the best dad a son or daughter could have.
Yeah.
But that he was holding Robin and back with Barbara. So.
And back holding Mom's hand.
Yeah, made it to her before Christmas.
I love that what you told me the other morning, that he has not, since they met in, high school?
73 years ago.
73 years ago.
Christmases.
They've had 73 Christmases together. Ever since they met, they haven't had a Christmas apart. And
she died in April.
She died in April. He died right before Christmas because he was not about to have a Christmas without her. And that's just...
He lived longer than I thought after she died. I thought he'd be dead.
I thought he was going to die before her. I was shocked when she died.
He's been in bad health for 10 years.
Way longer than her. But
she's meaner, though, and tougher.
That's why I thought she was going to outlive him.
Yeah, she probably had like the world's... Whatever killed her was a tough son of a bitch, because she's by far the tougher Bush.
But I'm just... Yeah, he wasn't in good health. Oh, and the dog... Oh, God.
Yeah, what was his name?
Sully.
He's become...
He's like a...
Huge now.
I know. I've started following him on Instagram. The picture of him sleeping outside of his casket, and then they brought him to where they had him in the state capitol or whatever in the middle.
When he was sitting in state.
Sitting in state, thank you. I knew there was a term for it. But where everybody had to like walk in a circle around him, they showed where they brought Sully to see him one last time before he went back to go find a new boss to be a service dog for. But oh God, he's the most beautiful dog, and he just seems so sweet, and that he just loved him so much.
And so well trained. What a testament to whatever training that dog came out of.
I can only imagine a dog that's going to go be a service dog for an ex-president. Like, and it looked like from the dog's Instagram, it looked like he's been with him since like earlier, like May or June or something. I mean, it's been like this year that he was with him, but
still, what a good dog.
Good boy.
Yeah, I mean, and he's going to work for he's going back to Walter Reed, where I'm sure he'll get assigned
to some other high priority.
Or even just, any of them. But it's just awesome. I love the fact that the dog is now famous.
I know, he does. Sweet boy.
And it really shows how these service dogs can be used. I had no idea how many different jobs these dogs can do. It's incredible.
Tell you what, if I ever get what my mom has, get me a service dog. Is there a service dog for dementia?
I don't know. But I mean, I think,
I feel like it would help if you had something like that to take with you out places. Like that could be like your anchor.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
A service dog, not just your pet dog.
No, I agree. There absolutely would be. Can only imagine there'd be benefits to that, and to help calm you down when because
there's so much anxiety with that disease,
and stress, where you don't. If you're confused, at least that. Because they can definitely calm you down.
And if you get lost, they could help guide you back.
Yeah, and be your protector.
If my parents didn't already have so many damn dogs, I would suggest that.
Well, and if their awesome golden wasn't a million and
I know,
the most docile, sweet dog on earth. But no, I think
she
Sully,
could have been a service.
He is a handsome...
Oh, God.
He's a short hair.
He's a lab.
Okay, but very close to a golden. They're very similar.
Labs and goldens are very similar. Yeah, it's just they have different coats and
but very similar demeanors. The ones it's just almost like a short and long hair difference.
Yeah. Labs tend to have they can be a little bit more rambunctious a lot of times, but like either way, if they're well trained, they're both some of the best dogs. I mean, fucking Kyle and Rachel's dog, Drake. I'm in love with that dog. He's a yellow lab.
He's a big old yellow lab with a huge cock.
He is a perfect angel. Dog. I love his face.
I saw a dude with a dog going in the other day when we were at Kroger, going into the pet store. And he was walking his bulldog in because they're doing that free wash your dog thing.
Really?
And this dog had bigger nuts than the bulldog on Van Wilder. And I only saw him from behind. So they're just dangling behind this short stop. Clearly,
that's the definition.
He's grown into his nuts.
Of bulldogging your nuts.
His nuts were humongous.
Well,
I mean,
they're
so damn big. Imagine how horny that dog is.
Good for him. Yeah, I know. I mean, you got to feel bad for dogs that are, 7, 8, 9 years old that aren't neutered, that are not like a stud dog.
Mm-hmm. They get no release.
None. I mean, they might
think they probably hump something.
They've got a toy or something, I'm sure, that they dominate whenever they get the chance, but poor things.
What about old Bob Dole saluting
that was
W's casket with his
painfully
left
sad.
hand? This is what killed me, what pissed me off. I saw it, of course it was everywhere. Some douchebag on Facebook or something commented, they had posted it, some outlet saying, what an awesome moment, because they were bitter rivals. Mm-hmm. But they were also both military, World War II heroes.
And they're of that generation that are...
Yeah, and they were respectful adversaries, but they were adversaries.
Yes.
And so the picture was of Bob Dole saluting W's casket, or HW's, with his left hand. And he was like, I don't know if I can forgive the incorrect salute, because you're supposed to salute with your right hand.
Hey, fuckface, he can't lift his right arm. He had
it's useless.
1,000 strokes. And
well, it's paralyzed from where he got shot.
Is that what that? But he also, since then, like in the past couple decades, has had multiple strokes and lost even more
and he's 112.
And he's a million, and fuck you, dude.
Yeah, that was so dumb.
Jesus.
And he got murdered. So that troll got destroyed. Because everyone knows the story. His right hand's been paralyzed since he was young. It's just useless.
What a fucking idiot.
I mean, do you think a former military man, if he could, wouldn't use his right arm?
Right.
Of course he would. But he couldn't even stand.
No, he was like, that guy could barely help him stand up. It's not like he was going to be like...
Dole was straining to try to do it on his own. It was the best. It was a great moment.
Him. I know. Oh, God. I was just like, oh, poor guy.
But people got to find some shit to bitch about. And that kind of shit right there. Of course
they do. That's why I hate this.
Totally tears my ass up. Because for one, it was great to see everyone destroy the guy. Because there's no room for that. That person is clearly miserable.
Well, that's just, you're clearly just want to be a dick and just troll. I mean, he's probably just he had no idea, clearly, that... But
he's ignorant for sure to the facts,
right? So maybe do like 3 minutes of research before disparaging a war hero's character
on a skeleton,
on a guy that's 115. Like what?
He did his absolute best, and I thought it was a great moment.
Yeah, of course it was.
Bob Dole rarely gets seen anymore because he's in such bad shape.
If I'm being honest, when you told me about it before I saw him, I said I thought he was dead. Like I had no idea he was still alive.
He can't live much longer. His face is so sunken in.
He looked like a skeleton.
That whatever is... I mean, he's so old. He's been through...
He's in his 90s. So many health issues. Right? Like...
Yeah, him and HW had to be the same age, and he was 94.
God, that's old.
And so, anyway,
good for him though. 94. That's a fucking
what
life.
A life. I mean, look at what a life.
And all the shit he did. Good God.
Played baseball at Yale. One of the youngest naval fighter pilots in World War II.
Hell yeah.
Got his plane shot down. Survived at sea. Picked up by a submarine.
Had 6 kids.
Married the first girl he ever kissed.
Oh my God. Yeah.
And stayed with her for 73 years.
73 years.
You're not going to see that shit no more.
No. Oh, and the whole story that W was telling about, like, just every chance he could get, he'd be holding her hand. Like, and they just sit there at night watching TV, holding hands. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, with the TV on high.
Of course.
That's what he was talking about.
Yeah, because he couldn't hear
shit. Hear shit.
But we do that at night, like when we're laying in bed, like
and the TV's on high until you cut it off because I can't hear.
Until I turn it down because I'm like, I'm going to sleep now. Hey, deaf old man.
Yeah, and we've got
and then you say,
that awesome thing recorded right now. That's all his letters. That's recorded.
Yeah, it's a
Letter to Bush.
It's a Dateline NBC episode, mind
it's
you.
It's going to be great. It's going to be a tearjerker because it's all letters.
Oh yeah, that's.
You're going to cry your
I'll
tits
just be
off.
a fucking mess because any like love story of it doesn't matter who it is, anything like that, and I'm like.
He was such a good writer too. He wrote so well. I hope they read the letter.
Well, anybody back from that generation, it's like
they
that's
could.
that. Yeah, because that was all you had. You didn't even really have, when people were gone off deployed in the war, you couldn't even really call.
No, and they all had good penmanship. You know what? Because they had to write.
Beautiful cursive penmanship.
Script almost.
Yeah, and because that's what they had. They didn't have any computers, and they couldn't even call from wherever they were. I mean, I'm sure they could very rarely, but I think it was all letters.
Yeah.
In World War II, I don't think they were calling from Germany or wherever.
No.
Was that Germany or was that the other one?
No, it was Germany. I mean,
okay,
sure. All right. Well, we got two other little short topics I want to hit on, and then we'll be turning it over to the group Q&A. But I got a question about Shane's podcast, Bearded Dad podcast. Somebody basically what they were asking was, hey, I started listening to it because you recommended it. First few episodes were rough, and then this last one was really good. So first off, there wasn't much of a question in that. It was just kind of like, but I agreed. And the last one was really good. I was really proud of Shane. Thought it was great. And his first ones, he's actually pulled them down because he's smart. He knows they were rough. Uh-huh. And his last one is really good. So if it's a template for where he's going, I would recommend you keep listening. It was very good. Good information about PTSD and spouses living with that. And, Shane's pretty much an open book. He'll kind of tell you whatever, and he's a good, loyal pal. So I think it'll work out well. I know him and Jody B have something. I think they recorded together.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, is that okay? So I saw the gajillion messages about him trying to hook up his iRig and stuff. So I saw one that said like he recorded both of us on his end, but I didn't get anything on mine because I think he had the cords all in the wrong place.
Yeah, he got it now, but I don't want to.
I think he had this part hooked up wrong.
I think you did.
Because I sent him a picture of our mixer, but I didn't send him a picture of this part because. As far as I knew, this is like, because when I came home that one day, you already had this. Like, so
I think that's what it was too.
But
it sounds like, I don't want to ruin the thunder, but I don't know when Jody will use it. Sound like Jody recorded. Maybe it'll be a Po' Boys coming out.
Or maybe he'll send it to Shane. But either way, I think it'll be good either way. I think Jody's obviously got some PTSD from some shit too.
Oh,
You'd think.
No, they can throw down.
I think Jody's, if Shane's is from what you said it is, Jody might win in that one.
Yeah. No, they're both
as far as the traumatic experience.
Well, I mean, they both could have died.
Exactly.
They both were pretty brutal. Yeah. I agree with you. Jody's, the percentage of death that should have been is higher.
That was his face.
You get shot in the face
in
head.
The face. That's your
probably
head.
Probably going to die. So...
Yeah. But that's a good pairing, though. I think they both, and I think they're both kind of they're in similar places in their lives, with like kids and all this, like and moving forward, but still trying to deal with shit. And so I think that's could be a good discussion. And of course, I always love hearing Jody talk to people. So.
Yeah, and I think Jody can help him out with transferring that energy toward your podcast.
That's a good
done well. And so I look forward to that. Hopefully we'll hear that soon. I don't know who's going to use it or what, but I say keep listening.
I need to go listen to his new one.
Keep checking them out. Yeah, it's really good. I thought Tiffany did great. His wife, she jumped in and did a little bit of the Q&A. It's like anything. Shane's starting to get comfortable on the mic. It takes time. We put out some dog shit early. Mm-hmm. I mean, everyone does. So, yeah, keep checking him out. The last thing I wanted to cover, I keep getting this question all the time for us. And it's who's your favorite podcast? Who's your favorite indie podcast? Who's your favorite indie podcast host? And go ahead.
Nope, you go ahead. I'll say what I was going to, because I was going to mention Never mind. Go ahead.
Yeah. So what I was going to say was we'll go ahead and answer this one clear time of what makes up our favorite indie podcast. We'll just go with indie.
Okay.
So we'll keep it on the middle ground, not some of these huge ones. I know that you love My Favorite Murder and stuff like that.
Well, I've been binging True Crime Obsessed lately too, which is you've heard in the car with the Patrick Hines and Jillian, gay guy, and the girl where they talk about documentaries.
Sounds like Ross to me.
I fucking love it, and
they sound great together. I don't listen to their content, but I could listen to their voices.
Yes, it's a little bit different than My Favorite Murder. They don't just talk about like cases. They break down like documentaries. So they did like Evil Genius, and they did like The Keepers, where they talk about like each episode.
Yeah.
But a lot of it's like true crime at the foundation. Yeah, but
sounds like a gay guy and a girl.
And it's brilliant. I love it. I'm like, I want to be there talking about it so bad because they like end up having such a good time. And I'm like, it sounds like so much fun.
But so for me, I couldn't answer with the favorite. So I thought about it.
The favorite indie? No.
You haven't had time to think about it. I have. So I look at it as like there's pieces of a bunch of different people that I like and what I think certain people bring to the table. Like if you ask me who's your favorite podcast host's voice, for me it's Jody B. I like Jody B's voice.
Yep.
If you ask me who's the funniest or the wittiest or the quickest, I go Almy. When shit happens when you party naked. That guy's quicker than shit. I know you haven't listened to a lot of their stuff.
But he's like super brainiac smart, isn't he?
He's smarter than I thought. Yeah. But he's quick. He's
for some reason, like, did he go to Georgia Tech or some shit? Is that why?
Oh, he went to Georgia.
Oh, he went to Georgia?
Yeah.
I forget what you told me about him that just made me think he's like
a bodybuilder.
Super duper brainiac smart, but I could just be...
Yeah, he's way smarter than I thought. And his interview, what he did with Jody B, really highlighted that. It was excellent. So I'd go with like Almy on that. If you ask me who do I think has their shit together the best or mans the ship, it'd be Larry. Larry has a shitload to hand on Drinks with Larry, and he keeps that fucker going. Which, by the way, this last week's episode was great. I don't know if you've caught up yet, but Brian was in rare form. It was their Christmas episode.
No, the last one I listened to was when they had that other guy on there from Aaron's dojo thing. That was pretty fucking funny.
Brian was the damn Scrooge this week. Like basically everything about Christmas is like tell kids that Santa's bullshit.
I saw him post that on Facebook. I'm like,
Brian was
what the fuck, man? Aaron posted it on Facebook, I think, or something where I was like, was it Aaron? Where I'm like, Aaron, you have babies.
Can you pull up the Drinks with Larry Facebook page? Because I want you to give out the number for the Win a Date with Stephanie hotline.
Oh, yes.
Because
that fucking shit is awesome.
It's not getting enough play. And guys, quit being stupid. For one, Stephanie is a great catch. If you listen to her, she's fucking hilarious.
She's fucking awesome. The goddamn name they gave her, Snortles McPooperton, whatever the fuck it was. I was dying.
But she's so damn funny. She's a pretty girl.
Sorry.
Why would you not want to win this date and get to go and be on an awesome ass podcast?
It sounded like they were about to set her up with the guy from Aaron's martial arts studio.
Yeah, you got to listen to the last one.
I do need him. Okay.
But we need some serious
here's the number.
Participation.
All right. You got to win a date with Stephanie from Drinks with Larry. She's a fucking badass and she's funny as shit. So somebody in the Ohio area... where the fuck are they? In the Medina, Ohio area. Any of you single? Let's not have any married guys. Yeah. Single.
Yeah. And have a sense of humor because the
DJ McSnortles. Yes.
Larry and all them are going to be a table away from you, like watching it and commentating the whole. It's going to be hilarious.
Larry's going to be holding the menu up, like trying to like act like. He's not looking, but he'll be like looking off the side.
Yeah, and where's Burton, guys? It's been like 2 weeks. Where's Burton? What the fuck's going on?
Burton, where you been?
Some explanation.
Okay, so here's the number. Win a date with Stephanie, Medina, Ohio. 330-274-4245. So call that number and try and win a date with Stephanie, a.k.a. DJ McSnortles.
Yep.
Oh, God love her. That's hysterical.
Yeah, leave them a voicemail. Somebody needs to win that fucking
In the picture
thing.
they posted with this,
great.
it says, "Dear Santa, bring me a man this Christmas, Stephanie." What the fuck?
Yeah, guys are so dumb, man. I don't know. I couldn't be single nowadays. It seems like it's so hard.
Maybe it's intimidating because she hangs out with dudes all the time. I got that in college all the time. Like, it was like, because you're one of the guys. Like, fuck off. God.
Yeah.
I like dick, too.
She could be she's a good catch out there for somebody that needs to quit being dumb. Plus, her laugh, if you want somebody to stroke your ego,
yes.
Just have her as your girlfriend, tell a shitty joke, and let her laugh. You'll feel like the fucking funniest guy on earth.
Makes me smile. It's so adorable and just infectious. I love it.
So, yeah, you got Larry for that one for me. And then another category that I think is maybe the most impressive is old Wutsky at hashtag No Offense Show, where I give him props the most. He's the most driven to succeed host to me. You can hear it in his voice. He wants to be the best.
Most likely to succeed, for sure, in the yearbook of podcasts.
Every episode, his tenor is like, bitches, we're climbing the fucking wall, baby.
Yeah. He's like, we're going to be all up in your shit. They were going to some kind of like podcast, something or other. Was he getting flown up to like Philadelphia or something?
No, he went up and did an episode with Almy and them.
Where do they live?
I think it's up in New England somewhere. No, New Hampshire.
I thought Almy lived here, actually.
No, he went to Georgia. His family lives here. That's why he's talked about when he's in town, he'll come record with us here. Because they live like in Marietta or something.
Oh, but he doesn't live here now.
Not anymore, no.
Gotcha. I promise.
He's here all the time visiting family and then goes back.
Gotcha.
But what I like about for one, their last episode, if you're listening, I thought it was probably their best one. It's another one I know you listen to so many.
I do.
It's incredible how far behind you probably are. But this episode was great. Did you know Jay from their other co-host does customizes sneakers?
Well, I know that because of the messages on Instagram.
Yeah, he's doing my old Air Force Ones. He's going to make us a Married AF shoe.
Did you send them to him yet?
No, I just messaged him tonight saying what address. We've already worked out the money. And
sure. I had no idea that Instagram handle was him. I only put it together when he messaged and said, "Hey, this is Jason from." I was like, "Okay." That's
why I thought this episode they did this week was so good. Like it was like a conversation. It was their best episode to me. It flowed. It was conversation. There was not so much format. There wasn't so much of like the crazy Florida shit as there usually is, which is great.
Shit, though. That's
but Wutsky just kept them in because they were on a roll, like shooting the shit and being smart. He's like, I'm just going to ride this into the ground.
Well, if you're having a good chat, then there's no need to like cut it off.
No, but some people do. They're like, we got to get back to the outline.
Right.
And that can be, you can screw up sometimes with that. So I learned a lot more about Jason. Yeah. I didn't know that. And so I reached out to him after I listened. I was like, dude, how do I reach him, man? I want to get some shoes.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so then he told Jason. And
I've seen some of his stuff. He's fucking talented. So nice. I look forward to him doing these
and we'll post pictures and shit when we... Yeah.
Oh, of course. And I just told him, run with it. And we'll see what he comes up with.
Yeah. Are you going to do this?
I think he's going to use that.
Okay.
But I told him I'll give him free reign for colors and what he thinks looks cool. I've seen some of his slides he's done for... another show. They're fucking cool as shit. So cool stuff. And then, my last favorite, I guess, if you're going to put out,
forgot we were still doing
and I'm just creating categories basically to talk up my friends.
Well, okay.
But they are my favorites. Yeah. So I'm not lying. These are the shows I listen to. So if I got to do.
So before you say that, when we were, all these people that we've just talked about, and then some. So there's also going to be Amanda from Blunt Mommy.
I was just fixing to go to Amanda.
Right. But I'm saying like, so all these people we just talked about, Amanda, and then there's like a couple other people that would probably be included in this. Like after listening to that last episode of Who's Right podcast, where they talked about, like some of the stuff that Amanda said on Drinks with Larry on their like voicemail, and then like he was talking about some shit that you and him were like beefing, quote unquote, over, but not really.
No,
like,
there was never a beef.
He was just giving you fucking shit about it, which I thought was hysterical. And then name the episode $18, little man.
Yeah, about the logo. And I love Doug.
I fucking love it.
And
but the way he was talking about it, it was like, and it was like, yes, you're right. He almost described us, like our whole little like crew of friends, like podcast friends, as like, we're almost like a gang.
It is.
Like a podcast gang. Like,
and I love it.
And I was like, he's fucking right.
I can't not support these guys that I know how hard they work and girls. But what I was going to say for Amanda is she gets the biggest balls award, the push the envelope, because she'll clearly, if you listen to one episode, she'll talk about whatever the fuck she wants. And
she's the only one of this whole group. Nope, never mind. I was going to say the one like that's like single as fuck. But Larry is... No, he has a girlfriend.
He does have a girlfriend. Yeah.
No, she really is like the only one that's single as fuck.
Yeah, I think so. And I would actually give Doug the smartest host award, because what he does with Anthony, the way he manipulates Anthony every episode into burying himself in their arguments is genius. And then if you ask me who the Godfather is, total package, it would be John.
Of course.
So those are, and that I feel like you would be on board with most of those.
Of course, yeah, because we talk about this kind of shit all the time, like when we're not recording podcasts. Like it's.
But Doug's an evil genius, and learning from talking with him,
so I saw
everything's plotted.
John posted, so Brand X, I guess, is coming back.
Yeah, huge.
But it's not Doug or Anthony.
No, and it's not Deuce.
And of course it's not Deuce because Deuce bounced, but
no, he's got 2 new hosts.
Brand X is coming back with 2 new hosts. That's very exciting. So super pumped about that.
I'm very aroused.
Yeah.
I am running out of room for shows, though. I mean, fuck. I gotta listen back to Brand X because I can't not listen to John.
Well, that's one that I just, as soon as I see the alert come up on my phone, that I just listen to it that day on the way to work. I've also got so many that I'm like binging as well. And I'm listening to some of them at work, like the Full Release podcast. Like I listen to that one at work sometimes when I'm at my desk, and I listen to the most recent one where they gave us a shout out, which was super fucking cool. Since they came on ours,
was awesome.
It was so nice, and I can't wait to get my Galactagogs t-shirt.
I'm getting one too, 100%.
But yeah, I do. I listen to a lot of shit, and I just like it because I like so much different shit, and I have to be like I'm in the mood a lot of times for true crime stuff. I mean, that's just me. But then I'll go like full weeks where all I listen to on my commute is like our friends' podcasts. And then I'll go back into my murder and mayhem.
If you want an easy listen, though, like for real easy, that you don't need to know them and kind of know the story, Full Release is that for me. Their shit's just easy to listen to. It's just funny. You got Mo, who's
the
whole
sharp
show
as attack and quick.
Ripping shit. And then you got Dr. Ashley, who I'm sure everyone's looked at her picture now. Very pretty girl, doctor,
smart
dick
as
doctor,
fuck,
smart as fuck. And she's dropping, academic knowledge left and right.
The medical knowledge.
But then you got Mo, the comedian, coming in with good ass points. He's a smart dude too. So
they balance each other really well. When I saw on Instagram the other day that I think it was not the other day, September, they just hit their 1 year. They met just 1 year ago, September. I was like, no way. Like they already seem so good together. Which, I mean, that's kind of how we were. It's like when you know, you know.
Mm-hmm. They're going to be married. I mean,
yeah.
You can tell.
When you know, you know. I mean, it doesn't like, I mean, it was pretty much the minute I met you. I was like, oh, fuck. Yeah.
I'm sure we'll get our invitation to the wedding.
Of course. Yeah. But I just think they're awesome together. And it is that's why I listen to it at work. Cause I'm like, I love it. Like, it's not something like a true crime one that I have to be like, you know, completely focused.
Can you pull up their number for their hotline too?
Oh, do they post it on there?
Yeah, because I want to challenge Shane Brazelton to blow up their voicemail line.
I want Jody B to.
And Jody. Well, we challenged Jody on the episode with them, but I know Shane will do it. So, Brazeltits, you need to call into this number and ask some ridiculous dick questions and get good answers. You put it in the show notes. I know that.
Oh, I did. I put it in our show notes. Okay, yeah, I was looking at their. Oh, there's the picture of him. I think this is. Oh no, wait. This is from earlier, like in November. Beth thinking that's like the robe she was giving him shit for wearing. Yeah. Okay, let me look at our show notes.
But yeah, so you've been challenged, Shane. I think you can do it. Come up with the best shit you can do.
Why is my shit? Okay. Yeah, they just call and ask. You can ask even fake questions because they even said they'll answer questions.
Real questions.
Real answers to fake questions. Yep. Okay, so you can call and leave a voicemail. Their number is 213-631-3460.
Again, that is.
It is 213-631-3460. So that is the voicemail for the Full Release podcast. Dr. Ashley is a urologist, aka dick doctor, and super smart. And you should listen to their podcast and then call them and ask questions about all kinds of. I mean, one guy called asking about, this is like what prompted them to even give us a shout out, was the guy called about he has a Prince Albert and like his girlfriend has a IUD and he thought he was like taking it out every time they had sex because he thought it was going to get tangled up in there. And we had talked about the whole Prince Albert thing getting infected, I think, on our podcast with him. But yeah, it's you can ask him pretty much anything.
Yeah, and you know, because my wheels are always turning every time we have a guest. If it's somebody that hasn't been on one of our friends' shows, I immediately think who else they'd be good with. And I would love to hear Almy and his wife with Mo and Dr. Ashley. Because Almy would be he's so fast and funny that him and Mo would probably just sit there and rip for an hour.
Oh, yeah.
It would be fun to listen to. But I think that covers everything, babe, that I had. Now we can go into the Miles doing us such a big favor and coming on.
Yeah,
love
this
lady.
Super fun.
And Miles gets my award for best female voice.
I love her voice. I said, okay, this is not like. What did I say to you? Like
you said it was your favorite voice.
Like I love her talking voice, and it sounds like Miley Cyrus to me, like Miley's talking voice, which is not like in a good way. Yeah, like in all the good ways of like the
graveliness of it.
I love awesome. It. I love it. It's so unique. And
I feel like if she picked up a guitar and started picking it, I would buy her album. Is what I feel from her talking voice. It's
exactly.
Very, very nice and enough to be like, oh shit, there's some whiskey in there. Yeah. Maybe she smoked cigarettes for 10 years and quit. Been through some shit. Came out the other side and is telling you to fuck yourself.
I just love it. It's like soothing, like unique, and I don't know, I like it. But it was a good time chatting with Miles, and we hope you enjoy it.
Yep. Check out their show too, Miles and Crawford Variety Hour. You won't be disappointed.
Yep.
And so without any further fuckery, here's the gravelly one.
Why? That's not
Miles.
No. That's not a good introduction.
Not gravelly? Okay.
Here is the wonderful and powerful.
Powerful with the awesome voice.
Yes.
Best voice winner, female category. Good day to you, sirs and ladies.
Bye-bye.
Welcome to Married AF. We're back. Episode number 61, I believe.
You are correct.
And we have a we always say a surprise guest, or we always say special guest. This is both special and surprise. We have Miles from Miles and Crawford.
Woo-woo.
Finally, y'all are welcome. We are together. I'm telling you, I want to jump right into it because we share a common lover / best friend in Rachel Miller.
Lover. Why do you go there? Why do you make it weird?
I don't know. That's weird. But
you make it weird.
She's not really a lover, but we
like
love her.
We hung up the phone with her and you went, suck me. And I was like, wait.
Yeah, that was totally accidental. Accidental, by the way. But yeah, so most of our listeners have probably listened to the episode, the first one where she came on with you guys. How awesome was that episode? I felt like y'all could have went for 10 hours.
Absolutely. I love Rachel Miller. We were actually just talking tonight because I and Crawford had recorded like a month and a half ago, but her internet connection, I think altogether it ended up being something like 12 tracks because of how fucked up it kept being. And that was the editing was a fucking nightmare. And I'm like, dude, I spent days, hours every day, like trying to make it work. And I'm like, I can't. Like, this is.
Yeah, those are rough when you got one so bad and you loved it. You know, we've had a couple that we've had to
salvage it.
We couldn't do it. And we've put out some dog shit before because we didn't have a choice, but there's some that have been so bad we couldn't even put them out.
Well, exactly. Because prior to that, when it was just Rachel and I shit, dude, me and her, we talked for fucking ever. I think it's actually, our longest episode because I'm like, I don't want this to end. We're angry. I think we both had a few cocktails.
Yeah, that was some like girl power to the max.
It was the shit though. Yeah. I remember listening to it and I listened to it over like a day and a half going like to the gym and running errands and that stuff was the jam. But I remember at one point I was going through a drive-through somewhere like Jimmy John's or something and I had it blasting.
Because you're deaf.
Because I'm deaf and just because I wanted to feel the emotion because it was one of the points, Miles, where you were coming in hot on something. I don't even remember. But I saw the person in the window handing me my food was like, good Lord.
Yeah, Randall, and he doesn't really think about things like that like.
I play stuff so loud because I'm deaf. I just can't hear.
Well, and it's like you're not thinking about the fact that, even though your window's open, their window's open, that like they're going to hear.
I know. But
there's Miles going on like an F-bomb about how all men can go fucking suck it. We're setting the world on fire. So
basically.
But so did that episode do well for you guys? I imagine I saw a lot because a lot of people talked about it on Twitter.
Yeah, they did. It did very, very well. It was definitely one of our highest listened episodes, and that was because it was one of our longest episodes. That was my concern, is because most of our episodes are between 45 minutes and hour-ish.
Yeah, that's the wheelhouse, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so when it I think with Rachel, it was like 2.5 hours because I didn't want to edit. She's like, go ahead and cut everything out. And I was like, no. Like, what? I didn't cut shit. I'm like, I tweaked a few things, like when I had to go to the restroom or whatever it was. But beyond that, I was like, no, this is, like you said, it was just, we're both on fire and cutting out any part of our conversation, even if it hadn't made sense. I wanted that fuel to go out there because I think that, first of all, I tend to get a little cocky sometimes, but
that's nothing wrong with that. It really is your charm. For me, it's what made me, love your show and get engaged.
You gotta have the balls to say it. And at some point, I think to have edited that episode in any way, shape, or form would have taken away either of our voices. And I feel that, especially with Rachel and everything that she has to provide and her knowledge and as well as her history and just me as well, and to take away either of those things, even in the smallest degree, I thought would be a disservice to us, because if you're gonna listen to some women rant about fucking equal rights, then you're gonna listen to some fucking women rant about equal rights, and you're gonna have to listen to all of it. And I'm sorry, but not sorry.
Hey, no need at all to be sorry. Actually, we're gonna take our shot. We'll do it to Rachel Miller.
Yes.
Let's just cheers to.
You said we're out of pineapple juice.
Yeah, this is orange juice.
Oh.
And muscle vodka, of course. We love you.
So a little screwdriver.
Yeah, a little screwdriver. Old school, high school.
All right.
Cheers. Love you, babe.
Love you.
Cheers. I only have my Johnny Walker Game of Thrones edition, and
that's hardcore.
Yeah,
Johnny Walker.
yes.
Good gracious.
That is. Well, I wanted to say something
I put
about.
a little bit of cola in it. Don't worry, I can't take that. If I drink that straight, it's like heartburn for 4 days. So I know I'm supposed to drink it straight and neat and whatever.
No, we're pussies over here, Miles. You don't have to fucking.
No, and the heartburn is real.
I will say that the new Game of Thrones version that they have out, once you freeze it, it really is a lot smoother than it is when it's at room temperature.
Sure, Miles.
Yeah, we don't buy that on any whiskeys. We're the worst.
Yeah,
I've yet to find a whiskey that I can say is like they all say it's smooth.
We've tried 6 different whiskeys and not cheap ones too, and they're all
as bad whether they're cheap or good.
Yeah, they all taste like they're lighting your insides on fire.
Yeah.
Okay, I will have to agree to all of that, except for have you tried the new Jim Beam? What is it? The Black Label they just came out with.
I thought it was always Black Label.
No, I've seen it. I haven't
No, they've got like Devil's Cup, but they came out with like a blue and a Black Label, and the Black Label to me is it's one that I've been able to share amongst friends who don't have their I like whiskey and like a bourbon whiskey scotch mix. Yeah. Like I can't do straight scotch. My husband drinks straight scotch and I'm dying.
That's what my mom used to drink.
You got to be a gangster to drink scotch or whiskey. It fits you though.
Or bourbon
I love that you
or
love
anything.
whiskey.
Yeah. That's like Margaret.
People think that I would love these drinks. I'm such a puss.
No, this shot we just took tasted like high school, by the way.
Deliciousness high school.
Yeah. It
Orange juice and vodka.
It's yummy.
Takes you back.
That sounds amazing. Yeah. It's funny because my husband, what was that, 2 years, maybe 3 years ago, whenever Parks and Recreation ended, I don't know how many years ago that was. So I'm a huge Parks and Rec fan.
Chris Pratt was still fat.
He was the best then, though.
I know. I love that show,
on that show.
So great. And but Ron Swanson, at the very end of the series, and I'm sorry for spoiler alerts.
I know, right? Shit ended years ago, though. So
he got the he bought into the Lavagulin Scotch whatever place out there, and that was his big thing. And so Andy, my husband, one year for Christmas, bought me the Lavagulin, thinking I was going to love it. And I took a shot of it and choked for like solidly 5 minutes, like dry heaving.
Yeah.
But my husband, who can't take shit, like he really can't drink anything, put it in a nice little glass and just sipped on it for the entire evening. And I'm like, who are you? I can't even get you to drink a Jack and Coke, but like you're gonna sit here and drink this like extremely peaty scotch that made me like dry heat.
It takes a special person. I just don't get it.
I don't either.
I don't have the guts. I mean, after a sip, if it tastes like gasoline.
No, I'm just like trying to sip on liquor. Me and you both are just like Sheldon on Big Bang Theory, where he takes a sip, he says, "Ooh, that's yucky."
I spit it back in too. Yeah, just like Sheldon.
And then let me try again. Oh, still yucky.
I mean, you've all heard me taking shots on here where I've been like, "Nope,
yeah,
nope."
I know, me too.
I can't do it. But hey, what I wanted to do, I thought this would be interesting, especially once you had said you had time to jump in with us, is we've got a bunch of listener questions here. Some of these are interesting. So I want to see if you had time to kind of chime in with us on some of these.
I've got plenty of time. I don't plan on going to bed anytime soon, so
Beautiful.
We're good.
Well, these are going to be funny. You obviously know some of our listeners send in some ridiculous shit, so be prepared. Some of this is...
And by listeners, we mean usually other podcasters.
Other podcasters, the handful of listeners that we do have, old high school friends.
Yeah, true.
So I'm imagining a handful of these are Jody B.
Right? Always.
Oh, yeah. Jody B's
and Amanda.
always in the mix. This one's for...
Mommy, obviously.
This one's for Brooke.
Oh, okay.
Brooke, my husband has always had slight BO.
Oh, no.
But he promised to shower more after we said I do. Well, we are 2 years in, and he showers less than he used to.
Sweetie.
He works, then comes home and plays video games. Mm-hmm. He will, quote-unquote, wash up
Ew.
but almost never showers.
Like a stripper bath?
I refuse to give him oral because his junk stinks and it's extremely sour. It tastes like what I imagine piss would taste like. Now he is mad because I won't suck him. FYI, he has also gotten fat. In my head, I'm thinking, bye, Felicia.
Oh, my God.
What are your thoughts?
Oh, my goodness. Well, first of all, sweetie, you can't. They're not going to change. If that's what he was like before you married him, that's what you married. I mean,
that's a tough one. If he stinks before you're married,
that's that's on you.
I, for one, am huge about body odor.
Baby, I know.
What about you, Miles?
Yeah, here's the thing. Like, you gotta put down, if you've married it and you've obviously committed to it. And I'm with Brooke on this. Like, dude, you married this, okay? Yeah. There's some things that they will slightly tweak about themselves, but you married the man.
Yeah.
However, if you're like, hey, you want to have some good sex, you want to have some like rendezvous, like turn on the fucking shower and be like, This is what you got to do, like head to toe. Here is a fucking black charcoal body scrub.
Yeah, get in the shower with him and show him. This is where you need to scrub
a lot
things, and and then reward him for that. And it's like training a dog. Like, hey.
I picture the wife in there, and everything is just water except his junk is covered in suds. And she's like, "Here's where you got to wash," and it's just a huge bubble bath of crotch.
Yeah.
Well, and not like that, but I mean, at the same time too, especially if he has gained some weight, he may not realize that skin flaps, I think, smell the worst.
Oh yeah.
They do, and that's just one of those things. They just hold all that stink in.
If there is that much weight gain to where like it's skin flapping over.
Well, and to give her a serious,
the balls are all stuck up in that.
I mean, to give her a serious piece of advice on my side, I would say, for one, we don't have all the info, but from this guy may have just lost his confidence. If he's fat,
that's what I'm saying,
and he's not even interacting, he's just coming home playing video games. That's no excuse. Wash your ass. That's ridiculous.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Take him in the shower with you.
Yeah.
And then, because then once he's clean,
give him a good sucking.
Then you'll be able to reward him and not want to vomit. And maybe he'll kind of start putting 2 and 2 together, because if it tastes like pee, honey, that is pee.
Yeah.
That means he's not. Yeah, it is.
That's pee stained underwear sitting against the penis for 2 or 3 days.
Exactly.
At a time.
Right.
Because it doesn't matter.
Sorry, that makes me so sad for her. I'm like, oh, dude, no. Like, that's like my number one rule. If, the husband comes home and he's all frisky, and my husband's not a very big guy. I mean, he's just not. And I'm thankful for that. And he's not very hairy either, which, again, I'm very thankful for. But even if there's just,
the opposite of Randall.
Yeah. He really is the opposite. He really is. I actually was making fun of the fact that in the last probably 3 years, he finally started to get what I like to call the dad gut. Because he was so tiny forever. And I hated it. I mean, I don't hate him, but I'd be pissed because he could work out for 6 weeks and have, a 6-pack or an 8-pack. And I'm sitting up there dying on a treadmill. I'm like, fuck you, But he's finally starting to get that dad gut where it's not coming off the way it used to. And it kind of makes me laugh a little bit.
And you're like, ha! Feel my pain.
We're going to get back.
Well, that's a perfect segue, because we got this listener question for me, and it's not even a question.
I love these.
It's Randall. Please stop posting pictures of your new abs. We get it.
I was waiting for that.
Yeah, me too.
I told you that. I'm like, excuse me, sir. That's mine.
Hey.
That's for me to see.
All that is the Fat Randy Challenge paying off.
I'm going to start posting pictures of me in my underwear. And see
you don't have a Fat Brookie Challenge. I'd gained a good bit of weight and was too heavy. And
then you lost 17 pounds in 4 days and everybody wants to kill you.
Oh, I know. That was...
We do want to kill you, but it is motivation, because honestly, Randall has always been, when I'm always seeing him at the gym, I'm like, I am being a fucking lazy shit. I will say...
Try living with him, Miles.
Oh, God, I would die. Probably I'd actually be a lot healthier, but...
yeah, it's motivating, for sure.
yeah. But Randall, keep showing off them abs. You just keep showing them off because people like me sit there like, I'm going to go to the gym. And I might drink another whiskey and Coke while I say that. But I'm like, I'm going tomorrow.
Hey, I drink a beer before I go to the gym at night. Like, I just got back from the gym. Like, when I go at night on Mondays and Wednesdays, I drink a beer before I go because, one, just got off work, need a beer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I know. And it's
and
your
two,
thing.
Just because I want to. Yeah, it's I like it.
I feel like I work out better if I'm half cocked before I go
exactly.
in. Like, let's do this.
A little looser. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel all good. You're like, I'm going to just fucking conquer this shit. And you get out, you're like, I'm super sober. Let's go to the bar.
Right. Yeah. And then I get home and take shots and record a podcast and drink more beer.
You feel great. And you feel great.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So
can't lift my arms, but I'm good.
Listen to this question. And it's another one for you, babe.
Okay.
But I want to hear Miles' thoughts first, and then me and you'll interject. Brooke, my husband posts passive-aggressive stuff on Facebook about our problems.
Ruh-roh.
And he's ruined my image with our friends. I'm almost to the point of saying, fuck that man, bitch, and leave. Am I being irrational?
Man, bitch. Wow. All right, Miles, you go.
Okay. First of all, wow.
Yeah.
So I am very much one who will post all of this fucking sappy shit on Facebook all day long. Me and my husband have been together for 15 years. Like, I'm all about like his great days, but I'm very, very conscientious of not posting when we have our big fights.
Right.
When,
of course.
the shit's. When he fucking, like, we're in a raunchy fucking
That's
fight.
That's nobody's business. Yeah.
That's nobody's business. And if your man is putting out that shit, it might also be, it's a bitch-ass way to go. I'm not going to lie. But it might also be his calling for attention. And at the same time, I know that it's ruining your image with your friends. But are they really your friends if they don't understand your side of the story?
Right.
And if they aren't, then fuck their opinion anyways and tell him, hey, this is our business, and if you've got a problem, let's work it out together and not try, because what he's setting himself up for, in my opinion, is that he's setting himself up to be the victim. And I'm not saying that
it's exactly what he's doing. Yeah.
But he's setting himself up that no matter what she's doing right now, she always looks like the asshole. And it's not going to give her any leeway when she actually has a legitimate problem for anybody to take her seriously, and that's diminishing her value of her worth, and that's really fucking shitty. And you need to call him out on that, and that's my opinion of it.
And I mean that's exactly right.
That's
what
spot
I think
on.
And I mean one of the biggest things is that like it's 100% putting a division in between you two, because it's like you're supposed to be partners when you're married. Like you're supposed to be like one person kind of, so it's making this like you and me against you kind of thing in the public arena of social media. So like it's
here's my point.
Bad move.
You both are 100% right. And first off, that's, to me, that's like unforgivable, but that's not here or there. That guy, that's ridiculous that he's doing that. But the second thing is, everyone sees through that shit immediately nowadays.
It's just a cry for
we
help.
all have friends that do it, right?
Oh
like,
my
I'm
God,
sure,
yes.
or Facebook friends. But as soon as anyone from the outside sees that, they're like, okay, he's probably the problem. Whoever's posting the passive aggressive shit. Mm-hmm. For one, you should be nipping that straight in the bud. Talk to them directly.
Yeah.
And if she tells him, like Miles and you both have recommended, she should talk to him directly and say, stop that shit. If he does it more than once, I mean, it's never going to stop. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, like people talk about like everybody's social media life is all perfect. It's supposed to be. That's what it's out on the internet. You're not supposed to fucking air your problems. No. Like you're supposed to take that shit behind closed doors in your own family and talk about it.
And there's nothing wrong with I think it's important. I like to use it to.
Or talk to your therapist like Rachel Miller.
Or to inspire people,
Definitely.
to get people motivated. I use ours a lot. You see this I post about working out. And some people think, oh, you want to, brag about. It's not really. That's really to hold me accountable is what I do.
He's trying to pick up chicks, guys.
That's what I do. No, I put it out there so that people can be like, dude, You know?
Right.
You got to stay on that shit, you know? If you're talking all that shit and you're, you know, so it keeps me motivated. So it helps me as much as anyone else.
Yeah, but you're not going to go out there and say, look at my abs, but my wife's a piece of shit and doesn't have...
Well, no, you have abs genetically that piss me off. I have to lose 100 pounds to show my abs.
I know. I did have abs stupid quick after having a baby.
You did. And women hated you.
But then it's a roller coaster. It's a roller coaster. They go away, they come back. They go away,
I mean, women, it's definitely
back.
hard. I have nothing but love for women's body challenges are different than men's.
Yeah. We
We can lose weight. Like, I can speak for me. I lost 17.6 pounds in 4 days.
Yeah.
That's easy for guys. Women, it's harder without fucking up your hormones.
Right.
Well, I think it's also one of those things where it's a pre-kid and after-kid ability to lose weight. Because, you know, I was talking to a few girls that I work with because two of them had recently gotten married, and we were talking about, you know, wedding dresses. And I was a fucking cheapskate. I was 21 when I got married. So I was like, I fucking got that cheap shit, like 80% off. I didn't fit in that dress. So I fucking made sure that by my wedding day in 6 months, my ass was going to fit in that dress, you know. But it wasn't hard. Like, it wasn't as hard, you know, and then after having 2 kids, it was a little bit more difficult. It wasn't like, okay, I'm going to go for a walk, eat some chicken, drink some water, and call it a good day. You know, that just, it wasn't that simple.
Yeah, it's age plus
it's
kids.
About maintaining. You like, it's also, also 21 versus 35 is also 2 very different bodies.
Oh, and metabolisms.
Two very different, plus having, guess what, was age plus kids, because I didn't even have our son till I was 34, almost 35, and when I got pregnant with him, I could eat whatever the fuck I wanted.
Anytime.
I'd never, a diet, I mean, I don't eat beef or pork, but that's been since I was 13, and I mean, like, I've never even had to think about what I ate. I was I didn't really go to the gym all the time. We were just active. We did shit a lot, but like, it wasn't, I don't know. And I was in the best fucking shape of my life.
That's great though. Like that's one of those things that I will put out there in the universe, because I was one of those girls that for up until about 4 years, maybe 5 years ago, right after I turned about 30. But for the time that I decided to lose weight, and even after my 2 pregnancies, I bounced back pretty quickly.
Yeah.
You know, and then like over the last like 4 or 5 years, it's been a little bit harder for me. But I give props to anybody. Like my girlfriends who can sit there and they'll eat like 7 things of fucking nachos, and I'm like, I'm eating a salad, bitch. But
now I'm a little bit more conscious.
Like, that's never like hatred. That's pure respect, because first of all, way to go fucking genetics.
I know. That's really what it is. And
that's her dad's genetics for sure.
It's not fair.
That's awesome. Like, I don't feel like that should be, I feel like that shit should be celebrated, because I feel like whether you're skinny or you're chubby, like whether you're big boned or thin boned, or, you know, you're active, you know, I work with a few women who are like built like brick houses, and but their motivation for me, like, I know that if I actually put in the effort, and that's all I have to do. I know that if I put in the effort, but if I don't, like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? Like, hey, I'm going to sit here and eat shit food and I expect to be skinny?
Well, and that's what I've got. Yeah. And that's just what it's come to now, is that like, oh yeah, my whole life I haven't had to try it. And like I had to shift at 35 years old, be like, okay, now I have to try a little bit. And that was just the whole like mental shift too, of like, I don't like where this is going. I mean, I had only gained like maybe, I don't even know. It was like 8 pounds that I was like over my...
But you wanted to tighten
I was over like
and...
the top point of where I wanted to be, and was just like, I'm not going to let this get any further, and start.
Well, where it's important.
Exactly. And that's what makes it, as long as you feel good, Brooke, like, as long as you feel good. And that's what I've always said. Like, yes, and I
that's
feel
what
great.
Randall said
I was
too.
120 pounds. Hell yeah. But I also look like skin and bones. My body structure, I have to be in like the 135 pound range for me to not look like anorexic, just because of how my bones are built.
Yeah.
Well,
and
you know, and so when I've got more on me, like right now where I've got a little bit more than that, but I'm like, okay, so like I went up a jean size and I'm not happy with it, but I'm not going to beat myself up, because I know that I can get back down to where I want to be. It's just now, like you said, it's a mental game. Okay, I got to just change my fucking gears and get remotivated. But for my other friends who are out there who are doing, you know, they're doing yoga, they're doing this, and they're doing that, and they're taking great care of themselves, I'm like, hell yeah. Like I'm all about it. Like hey, if 8 extra pounds is like your motivation, where you're like, I only gained 8 pounds. Fuck the haters, you know?
Yeah, no, I immediately was like,
8 pounds off, you know? Like, take that shit off. Do what you got to do to make yourself feel good, you know?
Well, that's what's important to me. I
that's
don't
what
think
Randall
it
was like. You're
matters
ridiculous, but
to anybody so much about the aesthetics, unless that's to help you feel better.
Yeah.
You know, if that's what floats your boat, then that's fine. But I think it's more about being healthy, and all of us inside have a Mendoza line.
Yeah.
And similar to what you were just saying, Ma, I know I do. When I get over 250 pounds, which with you little girls, that sounds like a 500 pounder. But
I had never seen the weight. Like, I was 138 pounds when I first started freaking out and like going to the gym 3 times a week and getting on that keto diet. Like, because I had never seen over 130, minus when I was pregnant.
Yeah.
Like,
so imagine being 257.6 pounds. And my Mendoza line, I know for me, is 250.
Like, yeah.
When I get over 250, I don't feel as good.
Exactly.
I don't breathe I feel worse than when I sleep. And everyone knows what their line is. That should be your goal for exercise, in my opinion.
Oh, I have such a small margin of error for my...
to be in that wheelhouse where you feel healthy. Because if you're healthy, then you're confident. If you're confident, you're hot.
Yeah.
To me. You know, I look
exactly.
good. You got to believe it. I'm just a confident enough guy. I can pull it off.
Even just a few pounds on somebody like my size, it's like your clothes don't fit right. So then you're not comfortable, and then you're not confident. And then it's just everything is like snowballing into like, and I wasn't all about, I'm just going to start buying bigger clothes. It was like, fuck that. I'm going to go back the other way.
Right.
I knew I wasn't going to get back down to, because what was I when I got pregnant with Gunnar? I was like 125 pounds. Like, it was fucking awesome.
Yeah. I mean,
not seeing that again.
You know, like Miles was saying, there's just a post-child difference, you know, for women.
Exactly. And that's where I'm at. Like right now I'm at when I was in high school, I had gotten, I was pretty big in high school, and a lot bigger even than what I'm at now. I mean, even when I was pregnant, I was still bigger than in high school than when I was like full 9. Yeah, I was on a lot of meds. I had epilepsy. I still do technically, but it's been 10 years, by the way, this October.
Nice.
So I was and it started late in my life. So the doctors used me as a guinea pig. And this is talking about like, you know, mid 90s, early 2000s, where doctors were popping
throwing
pills.
drugs at you.
Yeah. So I went, and no joke, one summer, it was between my freshman and my sophomore year.
That's like barbiturates too, right? Like for epilepsy. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, dude, I was on some shit. But in one summer, and I will not kid you, like all I was doing was, I was that kid that was always active, riding bikes, running around, swimming, all of that shit. But because of the meds, I had gained 38 pounds between my freshman and my sophomore year.
They'll do it, man. They'll put water on you. You know, it'll make you retain
and then you
water.
go back to school, and then you're like, so everybody thinks you're fucking pregnant because you have fucking gained 38 pounds this summer, and then you just feel like shit. And so even in high school, I think my highest weight, and I'm only like 5'4", but in high school, my highest weight was 175.
Oh my gosh! And, I'm 5'4" too.
Yeah, so I was a hefty little lady.
Oh.
And then by the time that I had gotten married, though, I was down to like 120. And I was great, but again, I'm very German Irish built. So I got that broad shoulders, and so when I get real skinny, my collar, but everything sticks out. So
I think we're the same person, Miles. I have like broad shoulders too, because I'm like I look like this petite person to most people, but then like I told Randall, like I put on this shirt that's a small that fits me great, but I can't like move my shoulders.
Yeah. No, I'm the same way. And like the last like year or two, because I've been doing a lot more like office work for years I was in the service industry. On my feet, I was in the factory constantly. So keeping off the weight wasn't hard because I was walking on my feet every day. And then once I sat down, I'm like, oh shit.
Ruh-roh. Yeah.
But that's why I said, I'm not mad at where I'm at now. I know that I want to be better, but I also know that right now I'm not motivated yet because I'm like, I'm one of those persons who's like, look, I can real try, but let's be real honest. Like Christmas break is going to come around and I'm just going to fuck this shit up. So
I've just been trying to maintain for the past like year. Like I got down below 130 like a year ago, and now I'm just like trying to hover right around it because I don't want to make myself miserable. but I'm not going to let it
give or take 5 pounds. For women, in my opinion,
oh, God,
if your scale is 5 pounds heavier, don't you worry. The minute that you get your period or like one bout of bad Taco Bell, that shit will be right off of you. You know?
Oh, yeah, it does. It does for sure. I mean, I tell her all the time about that you can, women have to have a window of, you know, that's just can be based on cycles and all that. I mean, totally. Well, check this question out. This is it. This one's interesting. Randall, we're newlyweds, and my wife recently told me that she's not attracted to me because I'm not masculine enough.
What the fuck?
What can I do to be more masculine?
Bless
we
him.
both listen to your show, and you seem very masculine. Help a brother out.
You are.
So first off,
you're so masculine.
Everyone assumes that. I'm probably one of the lesser masculine.
Baby.
I mean, from appearances, people give me that, and that's fine. But I mean, I'm way more of a woman than you are.
As far as feeling, like, okay, you're dead inside to some degree.
To like certain things.
For real deal feelings.
Yes,
for things.
For my own issues. But for others' issues.
Yes, he's a big old softy.
About others
and you want to watch a good horror movie? Call me. You want to watch a rom-com?
Call
with
me.
Call Randall.
If you want to watch How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, call Randall.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. I love that. That's always been my thing. Is I don't want to live up to a standard. And so my message or answer to his question is, don't worry about that shit. And she needs to figure out her own shit, because that's a shitty thing to say to him, especially being newlyweds.
Newlyweds, like, you're supposed to be, everything's perfect.
That sounds like some fuckery. If it's all ready,
that makes me sad.
I know that hurts my heart. Like, I've got like my husband, like I said, he's really isn't like. Honestly, like, you put like me and Brooke together, if you probably like meshed our bodies, that would be like my husband. He's a few inches taller. He ain't much. I love him though. He's not his, little. He's real, one of those like artsy guys with the eardrums. And he's kind of tiny. I just love him.
But that's cute. For you, I mean, like, y'all are obviously like, you love him for what for who he is.
What he is, but like, have I seen his masculine parts? Yeah, and I fucking like, dude, stop being such a man. Like, I mean, not to be a dick, but I'm more like, tone it down. Like, how much like man meat do you need to like prove that you got? Like, I think if a woman needs you to be more masculine or to prove like your manhood to her, then she's got fucking drama issues.
Daddy issues.
Daddy issues.
Could be daddy issues for sure.
But
that's
like, why is this coming out right when they're new? Like, that just makes me so sad. You're supposed to, I mean, like, I still feel like a newlywed with you, and we've been married 3 years.
Well, you're welcome.
That's so cute.
You're welcome. But, my whole thing, and we got into this with Rachel, and I had a few people kind of, that were like my inner circle. The first time we talked to Rachel, and we talked about toxic masculinity. Mm-hmm. And they were just so surprised at how much of it I agreed with Rachel on, because most people, I get a lot. It's fine, because I know what I look like and what my face looks like and my beard and my build. So, people are like, "What the fuck, man? How could could you agree with that?" And I just think it's time that there needs to be a shift about what is considered manly, because a lot of that shit I just don't buy.
Right.
And most of it's fake. When guys are, if you have to act a way, or if she wants you to portray something, then she's not wanting you.
Then exactly, that's my problem with it, is that like, if she's coming to him with like, that's a like being masculine, that's not something like that. I don't know, it's just like, if that's not who he is, and that's not who he is.
And not like that, but to me, like, masculinity is, my husband proves to me, in my opinion, to being a man when I'm fucking being a whiny little bitch, and he fucking brings me an extra blanket and a hot cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Sure.
Like, that's being a good man.
100%.
Like, being masculine to me is a guy who's willing to help me out in a relationship as a 50-50%, aspect of it. I don't need him to go beat some dude's ass or to act jealous.
Right.
I don't need him to.
You need to be your partner and your.
Or to go start a fire by rubbing two sticks together just to prove, and go piss on the trees out in your yard.
Yeah, you want him to be there to help you with the kids and with stuff, like, to not put more burden on you and be your partner. Like, that's truly what being.
I just think it's a bad thing anymore. I don't even like the word now, and I know it's a different time, but it just creates a falsehood of something that really isn't achievable. It's not really a thing. You can't say what masculine is, because who knows what it is. I mean, I know from anything from our sweetest, gayest friends, some of them are more masculine than I'll ever be. I know some gay guys that are straight savages.
Yeah.
And they don't care what the word masculine means, so.
And it means different things to different people. I mean, like, because like when I think of somebody saying like somebody's masculine, I mean, like if somebody asked me what the masculine parts of you would be, I'd probably say things like, because you can, build us furniture and you're outside.
And what I can lift up, pick up.
The like stereotypical, like you can fix shit on the car and the appliances around the house and shit that I can't do.
No, but I think he should talk
I agree.
to her.
That's exactly where I'm at. Not because I play some fucking like, I can't do it. It's more like, look, bitch, you know more than I do, and I don't want to do it. Like, it's one of those things. I feel like me and Brooke would definitely, like, if God love our husbands, but if y'all weren't around, we would make shit happen.
Of course.
I would just call somebody else to do it.
Or make the fire or fix our car or fucking change our windshield wiper fluid.
Yeah.
Then we're going to make somebody, like, we're going to give you your honor. Hey, will you go fix this and build this for me? Thanks.
Here's what I'm getting the vibe from, and I could be totally wrong. I have been before, but from this question, if I really read between the lines, I think you should talk to her and see if maybe... My hope is that she's referring to
something specific.
Maybe the bedroom.
Oh.
Like she's like, hey, I need you to be a little more masculine.
Take control of that bitch.
Yeah, I need you to, from time to time, come and lay it down 1 or 2 times every blue moon.
Yeah. Or just do that and see what she says.
Yeah, I would say start there. Don't throw her around and make her do something she doesn't want to do.
No,
that's
but
never
I mean, like,
a thing.
just
but, yeah.
be, if you're just laying there and letting her do be the dominant.
Yeah, maybe if she likes it, take a little more control. If she's cool with it,
be the instigator and the
the
pursuer.
really sexy like random like hip grab. That's like my thing. Like I'm standing there like nothing. There's a hip grab,
doing the dishes,
real close. Yeah. Like hey,
I love
where's
that.
This man at? Like I like this man.
Yeah.
Okay, kids, turn off the TV. Real loud. Headphones on. Video game times.
Mommy and Daddy got to go take a nap.
Gotta go. I swear to God, if you knock on my door, I'm gonna beat your ass.
Mommy and Daddy got to go take a nap, and we locking the door.
No, I mean, there's nothing wrong with walking by. Hey, stroll by her at the. She's in the kitchen doing something, and give her a little tap on the rear end, and let her know what's gonna happen.
Feel sexy. Maybe she just doesn't, maybe like her version of masculinity also is skewed, and maybe she just doesn't have that like, and again, trying to take maybe more of the other route is just, maybe she feels like that she needs attention, or that maybe she needs somebody to kind of like show her that she's beautiful and that she's sexy and that you want her, and that's another part of masculinity that, in those kind of relationships, that maybe she's like, hey, I need you to be like that man, not to fucking beat somebody up, but just make her feel like she's sexy as fuck. So
yeah, he could be
sexy as fuck.
He could be totally taking it wrong.
That's exactly where he should start. If he hasn't
talked to her yet, for sure, he should say, well, what define your, what are you?
Before even talking to her, I think he should just start the, unless you're already doing that, then fucking talk to her and be like, what the hell? What do you want from me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, check this one out. This one made me think of Brooke. So, and it is for you.
Okay.
It's from a guy. He says, Brooke, my wife is extremely OCD and especially about dental hygiene.
Okay.
I accidentally used her toothbrush the other night. This is a huge issue.
Oh.
Do I tell her or not?
No, just don't tell her.
I agree.
Don't
Why
tell
ruin
her.
her universe? I could fuck her all up.
From somebody that is for sure OCD, that particular thing, I don't care. Randall and I have shared a toothbrush before. I'm OCD about like I have to floss every night or I'm fucking ripping doors out of the house. Like, I'll freak out if I can't floss.
Yeah, I have to go to the store. If she's out of floss, I'll go to
I'm
the
like,
store
oh
no matter how tired I am.
I literally wouldn't be able to fall asleep. I'd be like, there's so much stuff in my teeth, I can't do it. But like, for some reason, sharing a toothbrush, because we've done it before over the years, like when we were
Yeah, and I mean, I'm
in
all
a hotel,
for
like, whoa,
honesty within your relationship.
Yeah, but this situation,
But
don't
this
tell her.
one, I feel like it's almost being selfish if you tell her, because it's only going to fuck with her head.
Don't tell her, because then it'll just cause a fight for no reason. It's no harm, no foul. She's not
exactly. Or if you feel guilty, just go out and buy some new toothbrushes
Buy her
and
a
be
new
like, hey, I
toothbrush,
know
yeah.
that we have to
Boom.
like change toothbrushes every 6 months. So I bought you a new one because I know that's really important to
I do
you.
it way
That's
more
a
than
great
6 months.
call.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
probably
exactly.
the best way to
just
handle
buy
it.
new ones and be like, hey, look like we need a new toothbrush.
Awesome.
Here you go. Yeah.
Problem solved.
And then both your conscience, like if you're the whatever guilty part, then you're clear. But yeah, for sure, don't tell her.
Well, that's flat out the best way
Why
to
did
do
that
it.
make you think of me? Because of the flossing
Just the
thing?
OCD.
Oh, the OCD.
Like, she's got to vacuum every night. Has to, like, just few things. I mean, I have my
Lots of
things too.
Lots of things, not just yeah.
All right, this one's funny, and I want to ask this to Miles because her husband, he doesn't podcast, right?
Correct.
Okay, so this is
He
a great
listens
one.
to them, but he doesn't listen to mine. But he listens to podcasts.
Yeah. So this listener asked, "Do you guys ever fight over how much time is spent on the podcast?" I also listened to Po Boy's podcast, and he's talking about Jody's recent one. He said, and I heard him talking about the fight that he had recently with his wife about how much time is spent on his podcast.
Aw.
Is that normal for podcasters? And for us, because we podcast together,
We
it
do it
isn't really,
together.
but I want to get Miles' thoughts.
Yeah.
We've never really fought over it. Has it been inconvenient at times? Fuck yeah, it has. And I like to fuck his world up sometimes. Or I like to use it as an excuse. I'm podcasting. Leave me alone. Actually, I'm hiding in the garage playing on my computer. But, or my cell phone, just sitting here pretending. I'm kidding. But, in all honesty, have we fought over it? Maybe like once or twice. And it was just because, random shit, because we got 11 and a 9-year-old who like to spontaneously tell us stuff at the last minute,
Like homework and shit.
yeah, and it fucks your whole day up, and then you're like,
Right.
dude, sorry, I've got this, you gotta, and it's not even like a fight, it's more of an irritation.
Right.
But again, as most people who've ever listened to the MC Variety Hour, we are really unscheduled. We were trying to be, but we're real bad at that. So he also knows to a degree that I'm like, hey, I know for him, he thinks that this is like a fun hobby, which it is. But at the same time, I do take it seriously. And
Right.
we've had those discussions about, well, I don't give a shit if it's like interrupting your day. Like, this is like the one thing. He gets to kayak whenever the fuck he wants to, or go camping with your friends. I get the fucking podcast. So there's the fucking room.
There you go.
But not like, yeah, we don't get in big fights. So
Oh yeah, and
Yeah.
that's what this listener listened to Jody B's. That's pretty much how he answered. He's, it's rare for him.
He
You know,
does
it's
it like
kinda-
once one day is where he
Yeah, he
dedicates
just-
to
yeah.
podcasting,
Yeah.
and that's like the known, like on Sundays is when he does all his shit where he
And
records and
That's
edits.
the
and,
huge benefit of us doing this show together, though.
But I mean, we can't say we haven't gotten in little like tiffs about just dumb shit with it,
Well, we could get in tiffs about dumb shit about anything. That's just being married.
right?
that is true.
It could be
That
the
is so
most
true.
dumb. I mean,
Yeah.
they're almost all about the dumbest shit.
Oh well, but that's all we fight.
I know.
Like,
So it's just
quote unquote fight about is the dumbest shit ever.
well, check this question out.
Uh-huh.
My wife makes fun of my penis size when we go out with friends.
What?
And he kind of wrote a little more, but I didn't want to. I'll just give you the gist of it. He says his penis is average size, 6.5 inches is what he wrote. Which I guess that's average. I don't know. I don't really measure.
I've never measured one, but that
But
sounds okay.
That sounds fine.
Sounds
Agreed.
fine. Yeah.
And he said that but when they're out in social settings, his wife will just literally, when they're in a conversation that
Talk
gets
about it being
maybe
small.
yeah, when they'll get in
What?
maybe conversation with friends, she'll throw a jab in there like, with your little dick ass or
What?
something, and then she'll look at him like, "Go fuck yourself," and that's it. She's great all the other time, but
No.
socially she jokes about his penis
That's
size.
not cool. Why is she throwing like grenades out like in front of other people?
I don't know.
Like,
That
that's-
sounds like a bigger issue
Yes.
under that to me.
Yes. There's no.
Dude, that's fucking terrible.
And it
I'm
sound-
sorry.
I agree. That's awful.
There's no fucking way that she's quote unquote great all the other times. There's no fucking way.
Well, if you want to take away,
Sounds like she's a passive aggressive cunt.
A man's, and I mean, since we said it before, masculinity.
Thank you for using the C word, Brooke. I love you. Go on.
Whatever you want to call it, but if you want to take away their manhood, talk in public
that's
about them
shit.
being a shitty lay
Oh
or
my
having a
God.
small cock or
That's the.
or whatever, and that's so she's obviously got a big axe to grind. She may not talk about it, and that just may be her outlet, but there's something more than his
Something
dick.
way more. And
She's. Oh, God.
Yeah.
That makes me angry. Like, that makes me, like, that's one thing that even with friends on drunken evenings, I don't think I've ever taken serious. That's like a low bull. Like, that's so low, in my opinion. I mean, for one, I mean, my husband and I we've been together for 15 years. We've been married for 14. So we've been, and that's from going into our early 20s on. So we've been through some shit, and some stupid.
God, y'all
fucking
grew
times,
up together, basically.
Yeah, exactly. We really did. And, God, we really did. And, but it's one of those things where even when his friends are around and we're making like dumbass jokes, like I'll rag on his friends 10 times before I'd ever be, or if his friends are saying something, they're like, hey, don't you agree? Don't you agree, Miles? Like, I'm like, haha, no, you probably are the one that has a small one. That's why you're talking about
Right,
it.
because that's your husband,
Like,
and that's why y'all are still together 15 years later, because you're not throwing him under the bus and trying to fucking roast him and make him feel like shit in front of his friends, because that's not what you do.
That's like she's trying to like prove something to his friends. So why? Like, what is she trying to, like, again, maybe there's a shitty fucking woman in me, but I'm like, what is she trying to prove to his friends? Like, is she trying to prove that she's like a baller? Like, okay, but what's more important? Is his friend's approval of you or like his approval? Like, why does it matter? Oh, that's just shitty. Yeah. I'm sorry. That boils my fucking blood.
I mean, that pisses me off so bad.
If you want to look to me, and y'all tell me if I'm wrong, since you're both women and I'm not. I would think that the equivalent of that would be your husband in a social setting being like, you know what? Your junk smells terrible.
Exactly.
Oh my God,
yeah.
I would fucking hit him.
It smells awful, honey.
But
all the time.
That's exactly what the equivalent to it, because it would make. I mean,
that's atrocious.
When you say that, that makes me like it's like a punch in the stomach for any woman. Like if you said that in public, like that would be the worst feeling ever. And I can only imagine that's exactly what a guy would feel like if you said he has a small pee-pee.
Especially in front of friends in a social setting. Like, damn. I just think that there's something else, buddy.
If she's lowest blows.
If she's doing that,
fuck her.
She's got a bigger axe to grind, and we don't know. Maybe he could be an abusive prick or something, and that's her.
I feel like he's got to be aloof as fuck, because there's. Like I said, there's no way she says that in public, and then everything is peachy keen. All on the up and up all the other times. No.
Except for his tiny cock.
There's no way. Like, you've got to be more observant and, like, talk to her and be like, what the fuck? Like, we've stopped that shit and what's happening?
And you know what? And just to make him feel better about who cares, if dick size is stupid.
Dick size is
it is stupid.
It's so dumb that it's a thing, and that guys, and it's true, it's real.
But
I'm
that's
a guy.
A very pointed, like calculated way of demeaning somebody.
Of course, it's totally wrong. I'm just saying, I wish guys could get to a point where who cares what your dick size? Everybody's dick's different. There's times everyone's dick is tiny. I've been cold, and by the way, my penis has been smaller than anything on
Earth.
And
hey, by the way, the biggest dick in the world, don't want it.
No, most women don't.
Don't want it.
Like, I don't. I'm just bothered by this fucking woman's. Like, it really
I'm like, bothers me
like
too.
You said, Randal, like, hey, dude, if you're the fucking prick and maybe you're making her feel like a piece of shit, and this is her one way to make you feel how she feels, then maybe she's not a bitch. Like, if you're putting her down into a point where this is her defense mechanism against something you're doing to her, and that's why she's so peachy keen any other time, is because maybe you're emotionally abusing her, then I mean, she's not a bitch. But if she's just doing that randomly and she really is this like sweet little queen every other day except for when she's with her friends, then she is, as Brooke said, just a fucking cunt. Like, and that shit needs to be called out, because it's not okay, man or woman, to put anybody down,
especially
for
your
physicality on any level whatsoever, especially if you're dating or married. Like, you're with that person and you should be proud of them no matter what the flaw is. That's why you're with them. And if you're not, then get the fuck out.
No, because the second, and there's no reason for it, and it's just strictly an ego thing, but, you know, if me and Brooke, all the times we've ever had penis jokes or talk on this show, you know, Brooke is clearly a smart woman, and she'll just be like, "You're huge, honey." And whether that's real or not, that's exactly how you handle it. Yeah. And she wouldn't dare, you know, and it's over.
Because it is perfect.
Babe, you're wonderful about that. But what I see is if it's really like he's asking or that he's stating, and the only time she does it is in a public setting, that makes me think the only time she feels safe is in a gathering where there's other people, which is what makes me think it's a possibility he's a dick.
It is.
Giving her shit because the only time she's safe is out in public, and so that's where she takes her jabs. Maybe. I don't know. We could all be wrong. Who knows?
But we've at least laid out all the options.
Yeah, and
Agreed.
All right, so here's the last one, and this one is a doozy.
Okay. Hey, John.
Brooke, I'm attracted to my husband's best friend. Right. Not like how it sounds. And she kind of goes on a rant too, but basically what it is she's always thought her husband's friend was great. They've gotten along, been really good friends. And recently they were all hanging out and her and this guy locked eyes. And she just knew, and she could tell that he knew too. Nothing happened, but now he avoids her because he's friends with the husband. And he doesn't text her anymore.
Why were they texting?
And all this other stuff.
Why were they texting?
I know, but listen.
Okay,
and so she wants to now know if it's okay to ask him if it's okay that they spend time together again and carpools with him to work and stuff.
No. Stop it. He's trying to be the... like, you're married to his friend. Whatever is...
That's really, really dangerous.
So dangerous. I mean, like, are you trying to divorce your husband and be with this guy? If not, he seems like he's... maybe there was, like, some kind of feeling or whatever. Stop it.
Well...
like, right now, he's clearly trying to take the high road of, let's try and not do this.
Yeah, and his look could have been this. She could be mistaken. She could have had like the lovey-dovey feeling.
Guys,
his eyes were like, oh shit, she just looked at me with the I love you eyes, and that's my buddy's wife. I don't want to cause no shit.
Or he could have been thinking about chicken wings and not even looking at her. Because guys are simple creatures. And he could have just been like, I want a brownie.
I think it's dangerous.
So dangerous. I think,
and you're playing with fire. Is my advice. What do you think, Miles?
Dude, no, I agree. You're playing with fire. At this point, look, I understand that there might have been like a solid friendship, and now she feels like there's this rift, and that's good. Let the rift be. Adrift your fucking ass all the way out in the fucking middle of the ocean from each other.
Back to your husband.
Back to your husband, because they're look, especially in my opinion, in that, like Brooke, you said, is like, hey, in the first 3 years, like you guys, 3 years, like you still feel like you're in the newlywed stage. And some people have one of two things. You are still in the newlywed stage, or you're like, okay, it's only been 3 years. Like, can I both the fuck out of here? Like,
right,
sure. Like, I know it sounds shitty, but I've seen totally enough people who are kind of like, look, I mean...
Right. Well, and we've both been in marriages like that before.
Yeah, we've both been divorced once.
Unless she's like, unless you're already 1 foot out the door of that marriage, like, and still don't pursue the friend because
that's just shitty to do.
But like what you really need to do is just like reevaluate your current relationship. Quit trying to like pursue new relationships just yet. Because
it's scary. Like, marriage is scary.
It
right?
is.
Like, you guys have both, like you said, both been divorced. Like, marriage is fucking scary, and it's really hard, and it's really, really fucking difficult some days. But I mean, the whole point most of the time, and you find somebody and you love them, and yes, guess what? There's always fish in the sea, but the fucking sea is full of ugly ass fucking fish that are terrible fucking fish, okay? Like, the grass is always greener because you're not watering your own grass. Whatever the fucking metaphor you want.
That's the perfect one. The grass is always greener if you're not watering your own grass. Yeah. Worry about your own grass is what you need to do.
Like, take
Tend
care
to
of that.
it.
Yeah, and of course, like, oh, well, that looks nice. Well, of course it does, because it's not your husband, and which means that you don't have real problems with that best friend.
Right.
Your best friends, and you like him because he's a person who's not your husband, who you can talk to as a guy, and it's not one of your drama girlfriends, and it's not your husband, and maybe he's really a good friend. And I'm sorry if that makes it awkward for you guys now, but the same point, like, dude, you have a marriage, and to sacrifice a marriage just because you need a really good friend,
because you got flirty eyes from some guy, like,
he might look good, but it's because he's not your husband that he looks good.
Of course,
it's because he doesn't have the real problems. It's real, and it's not. Marriage is ugly, and if friends aren't that way, so.
Well, yeah, you don't have to see this guy when he has the runs, and when he's running a fever of 102 and shit's running out of his nose, and he's shitting his pants. And,
that's not always what
I know, but you don't have to. He can be the dream right now,
right?
Is what Miles is saying. But where my biggest nugget to her, if I could give one, would be, right now you have not fucked up, because she said nothing happened. So you can still fix it. Like, you're at the Mendoza line of making a life-changing decision.
Yeah.
And you should take what karma has given you, which is him going away, as a sign, and just turn back to your husband, realize what you got.
Think about it real hard. Is it worth... Are you already done in your marriage?
Well, for one, it's the best friend of his. That's going to add insult to injury, and that guy's already bounced anyways and trying to avoid that. So, like, just go back to, you're still salvageable to go back and be happy in your current relationship if that's possible. Because right now, with your mind wandering to somebody else and trying to, just fucking cut your losses. Don't be Why are you texting your husband's best friend? Yeah. No, I think that we all agree. And actually, we have one more question. I was wrong. This one is hilarious. And it's to me. Well, it's to both of us, but it's got to be to me because it's funny. Right. Can you guys share a funny sex story? And this gives me a window to say what I said to you the other night. I don't know if it's getting old or what, but 99 out of the last 100 times we've had sex, the next day my underwear are on inside out. And I told you the other morning, and I went all day with them inside out.
Well, because you wear the underwear, like we shower at night, and you just put on that so like.
Yeah, so it was like middle of the day, and I went out and like cut the grass or blown leaves, and came in, and I was like, my drawers are inside out still.
See, that happens to me sometimes, but it's just because I'm tired in the morning.
I had went to the pisser 10 times that day, and just never noticed. But it's every time lately. Like, you'd think it'd be 50-50, but something's going on. I guess it's because it's dark but fuck, man. It's also uncomfortable. I can feel it differently, but... I wanted to ask you guys, as women, does that happen as often as it does to me?
It's not after sex necessarily, but yeah, I told you, I probably twice a month. I'll be at work halfway through the day and go to the bathroom and be like, God damn it. And it's not getting turned right side out at that point, because then I'd have to like take my shoes off and take my fucking pants off and then turn it right side out. Like, it's not happening. So then it's just like, well, my underwear's inside out. That's just a thing today.
Mine's backwards. Like, I'm the kind of girl that I really like the briefs, like women's boy boxer.
I sleep in those a lot.
God, I love them. They're so comfortable for me. I've tried thongs and everything else, but I love the boxer briefs for girls. And yes, on several occasions where I'm like, well, these are actually completely backwards. And that's why my ass crack is completely fucking hanging out of my pants all day. Well,
my butt's so big it would be so like loose in the front.
Well, see, I'm like, that's what ends up giving it away to me, where I realize they're backwards or inside out, is I'm like, my ass is hanging out like a plumber. Why?
Oh, yeah, like, what's happening?
Yeah.
Well, and I told you that when you told me that story, I was like, well, because I don't sleep in underwear, but I'll sleep in, like, whatever, like, random shorts I have or whatever. And I have, like, some of those, like, workout shorts that have, like, a little built-in kind of underwear thing in them.
Yeah, like a men's bathing suit with the little mesh drawers.
They're just, like, running shorts or something for girls. But, like, the other night after we did things, and then I was like going to put my shorts back on, completely pitch black, and I was like, yep, this is right. And I woke up the next day and went to go to the bathroom and was like, how the fuck? Because
you look like a wrestler. With the little
to have little running shorts on inside out that had little built-in like underwear I was like, that what in the actual fuck happened after that? I must have just been so in ecstasy, babe. That's all I can say.
For me, I think honestly, and this is the funny part, is I think it's all my fault because I'm in such a rush to go eat a snack.
And John's afterwards turning circles and yawning and
yeah, it's so bad, Miles, that our pit bull is trained to where he knows if we're done with stuff, he stands up, looks at me like, it's snack time, isn't it, big guy?
Oh God.
He literally knows. He's
that
like,
is awesome.
He's like, you guys are done wrestling. Let's go eat a snack. Yeah.
Let's go eat a snack and go like relax. All of us with our legs out and our hands on our pants. We're good to go here. Nice and stuff.
Yeah, he knows to look. He's looking at me now like, snack, where are we going to eat?
I know. He's dancing, looking
delicious.
At us. Are you talking about me?
Well, cool. Well, that's all the questions, Miles. So
I like it. I like it. Well, thank you guys for letting me come on this evening.
Hey.
It was like random and sporadic, and I absolutely love it.
I absolutely love you
That's
guys.
how we roll.
Both do. And
well, my kids love it too because I haven't been inside to yell at them about making sure they're actually in bed or not. So we're gonna go find out whether or not they listen to me. We'll see. We'll see.
Well, so are you guys real quick? Are you planning to do? Are you guys gonna have another one with Rachel and get it recorded?
Yeah, we're gonna have one. It's gonna be. We're waiting until she's gonna be done with the school semester. So we're gonna wait until that's all like wrapped up for her, so that way everyone's schedule's a little bit more breathable.
Yeah.
Is the way that we're gonna put it. So we're hoping that before the end of December, we're gonna have another one out. We'll have an episode out within the next day or two. We interviewed with we had another podcast on called ABCD Bags.
Oh, I love those guys.
Dude, right? Like, they're fucking great. And so we actually had them on the other night. So we finished editing. So it should be actually posted between tomorrow night. It'll be posted. And then the rest of the month, we're just going to, like, whenever Crawford and I schedule, she's been getting put on nights again where I'm on first shift. And then the days off that she's been having are my kids that have basketball practices for like 2 or 3 hours. So it's been kind of a chaotic schedule. Yeah. So yeah, hopefully we'll have a out. But with Rachel, we are hoping to have one out with her by the end of the year. That is the ultimate goal. So we're pretty pumped for it.
Well, cool. What's all the social media so everybody can find you if they don't already listen to you, which I'm sure they do.
Okay, you guys better. On Twitter, it's at MC Variety Hour. We do have a Facebook page that we're terrible at, which is just Miles and Crawford Variety Hour. And then you can also go to milesandcrawford.com, and that is our website. And that will at least have all of our podcast archives, our latest tweets, a lot of my blog posts when I am feeling the mood to write some big, crazy scheme of some sorts. And then obviously you guys can find us pretty much anywhere from iHeartRadio, Google Play, iTunes, YouTube, wherever you want to find. Just look up either Miles and Crawford Variety Hour or the MC Variety Hour. It's underneath both hashtags, I guess. And find us, download us, subscribe to us, give us some feedback because we're always in need of reviews and some commentary. It makes life easier. But I definitely love coming on, and then we'll definitely have to bring you guys on, or I get to come back and I'll just answer questions all the time because it's fun.
Absolutely, and tell Crawford that we said we love her too. She's the shit, man. I'm telling you, I love that girl, and listening to her stories, she has had she's got a lot of stuff that'll.
She does.
That'll push you to be.
The life, man.
Yeah, she's had quite the life, and her story with her son and stuff is incredible. So
yeah,
love to her.
He's doing really well, by the way.
That's great.
He's been super sober. So we're really, really pumped right now. So
Nice.
we're on a better path. So hopefully we'll keep our fingers crossed.
Good.
Yay.
Well, we will talk to you soon and keep killing it.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Well, that was fun.
That was fun.
Love Miles.
I didn't know Miles and I were so much alike.
No, Miles is the shit. I've always enjoyed her. And what a cool surprise, her being down to jump on so quick. She had just messaged us earlier on Twitter saying she was getting caught up on our episodes and that she loved them. And I was like, shit, we're about to record. And she was like, shit, I'm down.
I didn't even know we were going to... first of all, I should have known we were going to record. I thought about it. I was like, are we recording tonight? But I didn't know. And then you were like, when I got home from the gym, you're like, are we recording? I was like, sure. And then all of a sudden we had somebody coming on. All right, babe, let's get out of here.
Cool. All right. Well, you pieces of shit. Go flush and fuck yourselves.
Flush?
Yeah. Flush your fucks.
Flush them right
Yep.
down.
We will see y'all on another time.
Later.
Fuck you.